Yes, 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 yes. The boys are back. Once again, we're down one man. We didn't leave him behind. Don't think we would do that.
Yeah, two in a row, no bill.
He left us behind by not showing up for war. So they say
Twice.
never leave a
His
man
kid
behind.
fucking called out 2 days in a row.
That's right. That's right.
Jesus Christ.
Completely ridiculous. We can we fire him or we need him, right?
Need him. Yeah.
Fuck.
And
All
I
right.
and I'm not in a position to start a gambling career,
You
you
aren't.
know.
No.
So uh we need him for the purposes of the
Ah,
show,
it's true. It's
you
true. He
know.
gets hotsy totsy, and we need that sinister flavor.
Yeah, he's also got a really deep voice that sounds good on the show because like when he reprimands us, it sounds
Yeah,
like our
yeah, I like
dad
that.
yelling at us.
It's a big fan of being
Boys.
reprimanded by
Yeah.
Billy. You're listening to Knock 'em Out the Box, episode 135.
135 and
My
some.
name is Vinny Paz. I'm here with my co-host with the co-most, and Mr. Majestic Left Right Kid, Mr. Brandon Long. With the word, kid.
Chilling, chilling. You left a left off there. I'm the left, right, left kid.
And what did I do?
Left, right kid.
I did. I left one. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he
you
didn't
left.
come back with the
I
hook.
think
You
did I
dropped him. You
did I
dropped
drop
him
a
with the
punch
two
in my old
piece.
age in
Nah,
the
you dropped the
combination?
fella with the two
Oh,
piece. So when you threw the left, no one was there for you.
I thought it was a stab at my age and
No, not at all. Not at all.
my advanced age and my gray beard.
You're like a prime Mike McCallum.
My younger daughter today said to me, "You look old." That was
That's.
what she said to me, and I went, "I am old."
I
She's
think part of my weight loss was motivated by my son being like, "You're fat." And I was like,
yeah.
"Word up, dog. Good
Thanks.
looking, man. Good looking."
Thanks for
Because I
making me.
wanted, I wanted another plate of pasta.
That's right.
It just,
I shaved in October. I shaved my beard for the first time in like I don't know, fuck 10 years
I
something.
remember. I
Yeah.
remember when we were
And
recording.
the kids were like,
They
"Grow
were like
back.
petrified. Yeah.
Grow
Yeah.
back." I don't like it.
All right, guys, we got some fights for this weekend. There's no superstars, but there's some guys. B, I think you asked me, am I missing anything? And I said no. I don't know if you brought this one up. We're not gonna break it down. Just let everyone know. Did you miss the Thursday card, or did you just say that to me?
No,
I'm sorry because I
I
was
might
like,
have
hey,
I might have purposely
purposely
skipped it.
just left it out. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
guys, there's a Thursday night card. I love Thursday night cards. I'm in the studio. B knows tomorrow's his last day of work. Thursdays are good. I could put it on
Yeah.
in there. Thursday on DAZN, the Avalon Theater in Hollywood, in California. Jonathan Mansour, you mentioned it to me
Hmm.
earlier in the week.
Hmm.
4-0, 2 KOs versus Christian Avalos, 3-2 and 2. Lightweights. We briefly spoke about Jonathan Mansour back in March, B. He scored a first round KO over Marcus Bowes, who was 1-7 in his last 8. He's super flashy, dancing in the ring and shit. Big on theatrics. For someone with a bunch of amateur fights, his technique is crude, B.
Yeah.
Loops his shot, plays around too much in there, keeps his hands low. This is a disaster waiting to happen, and that's why I'm mentioning it.
Okay.
So I'm kind of waiting. I'm doing like the Mick Conlon here
Yeah, yeah.
on this kid. Um, Jonathan Mansour. It's on Thursday night on the Zone. There definitely will be prospects on this card. You know what I mean? That we'll talk about if any of them look good. But I'm just throwing it out there, guys. There's nothing to break down. But this kid's gonna get parked if he keeps playing around. And he's got nothing on his shots, which is even triple dangerous when you add the things I added on. So
Right.
someone's going to stand there and absorb them and just crack them with a counter.
Gotcha.
Saturday, the Zone, OVO Hydro Arena, Glasgow, Scotland. Bees guy, Moses Itauma versus Mike Balogun. 21 and 1, 16 and 0, with 16 KOs. 21 and 1 with 16 KOs. He's from the US. In his only loss, he got packed up by Murat Gassiev, who was a really good cruiser, if you remember, B. You spoke about him a couple times when we were just in the midst of Usyk's cruiser run. You remember we were talking
Yeah.
that run he went on? He was unified champ, meaning Gassiev, and undefeated until he ran into a guy named Alexander Usyk. That's the only guy that Mike Balogun has lost to, a guy who lost
Do
to
you know
Gassiev.
Mike Balogun's uh he he's a professional football player.
I knew he played something else. And I know his name is more complicated than that. His
So,
real birth name.
okay. It looks like okay. He was on like a practice squad guy. Looks like he made a roster for the Bills
Okay.
and a roster. Well, I don't know who the Virginia Destroyers are. Um,
Do you see his? Yeah, I'm sure it's some
Played
sort
at
of.
Oklahoma.
Did you see his real name, like his birth name?
No, what do you got?
I did.
I
What?
see Mike James Balogun.
Okay, yeah. It's like a non-American name.
Well, I think Balogun, it says here, means warlord in Yoruba.
Okay,
Yoruba.
yeah. Yaruba, yeah. It's like a more complicated not name. B, do you remember Tommy Gunn, Tommy Morrison's son was fighting Trey Lippy Morrison?
Yes.
Um, Mike Balogun packed him up and he never fought again.
Oh, wow.
He was
Yeah, I see.
undefeated. Mike Balogun flew his head.
At
Look,
Hammerstein, it looks like. It
Brendan,
was in New York, that fight.
he's a southpaw and
Hmm.
he can fight a little bit. He throws a nice southpaw 1-2. You know I'm not high on Moses Itauma. I'm just throwing that out there,
Yeah.
to all of these things. With
Did-
that said, Gasayev, who used to be a cruiserweight, um, knocked him out. So
right.
it's tricky. If he's chinny, Moses Itauma at very least seems to be very physically strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he's good. If Billy was on here, I of course we would say, Billy, what's the odds? Because
Right.
I go, whatever the odds are, I seen this guy pack some people up and he could fight a little bit, and I don't think Moses Itama is good. Put some money on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if the odds are crazy. Um, I might actually spend 15 seconds of our time be looking up the odds.
Okay.
I'm curious how
He's 41 years old, former football player. I think Tom is gonna kick his ass.
is that your pick?
Knockout. Itauma. Yeah. I think that's how I'm picking that.
Okay. This is wild.
Never been knocked out. Oh no, sorry. Gaziev got him.
That's what I was saying. And
Yeah.
Garcia was a cruiser.
Sorry, I take that back.
Um, Moses Itauma is minus 3,300. Guys, that's a 33 to 1
Yeah.
dog. That's a 33 to 1 favorite. Mike Balogun is plus 1,400. Guys, if you bet $100 on Balogun, you'll win 1,400
Yeah.
claims. So I tell Billy throw a 20 on there or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
someone that he can fight a little bit and he not. Um, I don't see an over under, which B is calling for. Um,
They might not have it listed.
41 years
10
old.
rounds. Yeah.
Yeah. Itoma has won won his last seven inside of 2 rounds. He's packing up who they put in front of him. You know what I mean?
I think this is gonna go a little further than that. I'm gonna pick Itoma by knockout in the fourth.
Moses Itauma should, um, Mike Balogun should give this guy some rounds in theory. Um, I'm picking Moses Itauma in 6, but if you're a gambler, this is the type of weird matchmaking that you go, I don't know. Besides being 41 years old, this is a little weird.
Right.
So, but like you always say, B, people get paid a lot of money to be matchmakers. So they
Sure.
looked at that Gassiev rematch and said, Gassiev
Yeah.
knockout and said, that's a cruiser. Imagine when our guy chin checks him.
I think it's gonna be
But you know what I
bad.
mean? That's
Yeah.
where you talk about matchmaking.
Itoma's 6'6", right?
He's a big guy, man. He's a big guy. But I watched that. I'm not acting like Trey Lippy Morrison was
No, he's only
great at
6'2".
anything.
He's only 6'2". He's only 6'2". Itoma.
Okay. This guy can give you trouble, man. He's southpaw. If he wants to win and he's in shape, we don't know what these type of guys be. They come in fat. Then Dave Allen comes in fat and packs up this Johnny
Yeah.
Fisher so you don't know. Guys, on the main event for this card in Scotland, um, the once undefeated real guy,
Pound for pound
pound for
guy.
pound, for knock him out the box. Josh Taylor, 19-2, 13 KOs, never been stopped. Versus Ekow Essuman, 21-1, 8 KOs. I don't recognize one person on his record.
No.
And he lost to a guy named Harry Scarf, which I really like that, who lost to,
Harry.
yes, Harry Scarf. You know,
Harry Scoff.
he's a lad.
Hello, Harry.
Harry
Did you
Scarf.
win your fight?
You know who Harry Scarf lost to,
Who do you lose
Mr.
to?
Long? Karen Chakadzian. This is a
Hey,
welterweight fight,
he lost to
47.
Karen.
He did lose to Karen. I don't think Josh Taylor should be fighting, but if this is his swan song at home in front of his countrymen against Ekow Essuman, I guess I'm okay with it. And I'm saying that with a question mark there. It's, you know,
Is it going to be an upset special?
if he, if you, I have one more thing to say, and then I want to get your pick. If he intends to try to make another run, I'm just saying right now, I'm not good with that. Regardless of this, win,
Yeah,
lose, or
I think he
if
just
he
wants to
packs
retire
this
with a
guy
win.
up, okay. So if he packs this guy up at home and goes off into the sunset, I'm good with this decision. If he packs this guy up, it says, I could make another run. Yeah, that's he's Scottish. That's a terrible accent.
I'll
I
make
don't.
another run.
Yeah,
I'll make
something
a
like
run at it.
I can't do groundskeeper Willie. No Diddy.
Grease me up, woman.
Right. Oh, yeah. When he's all jacked.
He
Um,
calls the French a cheese eating surrender monkeys. Um,
look, I think Josh Taylor is shot, and I think he packs this guy up.
I'm going upset
No,
special.
you're just being a jerk off.
I'm saying
Josh Taylor loses this fight, is what you're saying.
Ekow Essuman. Yeah, he loses this fight, and we never hear about Josh Taylor ever again. I
Josh
don't think this.
Taylor,
I think this has bad news written all over it for Taylor.
Josh
He's at
Taylor,
home, pressure at home, coming off of two losses,
he is.
moving up in weight
He is.
against.
Wasn't the Kadarov rematch at 47? Didn't they both go up or no? Did they both go to 40?
Let me look.
All right. Guys, I'm saying that I said Josh Taylor late, or Josh Taylor looks like shit in a UD and we're throwing shit at the television. Because the only way this is worthy of us tuning in is if this becomes a fun fight.
No, they were both 139 pounds for
The rematch.
the rematch.
So this is his first fight at 47. That's crazy. Um, Look, this Ekow Essuman is like legit fighting cab drivers. He's absolutely a regional guy. I think Josh Taylor stops him late or looks shitty in a lopsided decision. B, you're really calling for the upset
I
special?
am.
Okay.
That-
Saturday or Sunday at 4 a.m. I don't know what this is again.
So is yeah, okay, me neither. But
So does
I
that mean you go to bed Saturday night
Friday
and wake
night,
up at,
Friday night,
so
and
I should have read this first, is what you're saying. If we go in order.
it doesn't matter.
I think you're wrong.
No, this is how they have it listed.
It's
So it would be
listed
Saturday,
as Saturday/Sunday, 4 a.m.
not
That's how
on.
it's
Let me see. On
that's how
what?
it's I have a question mark after it. So where do I normally look? Boxing scene?
That's where I get it from.
Pro Box. Intex Osaka, Japan. Angelo Leo, 25-1, 12 KOs. His only L was to Cool Boy Steph, who was a pound for pound guy and who is now a champion at 126 after getting packed up by Inoue. His only loss was to Inoue. Steph is still very, very good and still very highly regarded by Brendan and I. So that loss is nothing, uh, to sneeze at or to write Angelo Leo off. And yet people still did. And he
Mhm.
rebuilt his career on Pro Box. And mad respect to Angelo Leo for fighting a title fight on Pro Box. Have you talked to Mr. Malinaji
I have
or
not.
Mr. Algieri? Are they going to Japan or calling it from
No,
here?
they'll probably call it from here.
So they'll
They're not
probably
they're
be
not going to Japan.
okay. Um, Look, one of my favorite nicknames in the sport, Angelo Leo is fighting Tomoki Kameda. His nickname is El Mexicanito,
El
Little
Mexicanito.
Mexican.
So
Uh,
just to Box Rec has this as 5/24, which is Saturday.
for someone, is it for who?
That's what they have it listed at
You better
5.
you better text me and say, "Are you putting this on?" Because you wake up early. You better. What
I'm not
time
going
do
to
you?
wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning on
I know you're
Saturday.
not, but what time will you naturally wake up?
On
6?
Saturday, 6.
You
6.
better hit me at 6 and be like, "Did you put this on?" Even if you didn't, and if you're laying in bed, because I'm not gonna remember that, and I'm gonna put it on Sunday morning at 4 a.m. because
Okay.
I already put this into my brain.
I think it's Saturday.
Look, Gameda's 42-4, 23 KOs, never been stopped
How
in
old is he now?
46 fights. He's only 33, but I feel like he's been around
What?
forever, bro. I swear to God, B, at our earliest days on Twitter, I remember talking about this guy to you.
Yeah.
I'm talking
He had
15 years.
he was the part of the Kameda brothers, right?
Yeah. And he's really good. This is for the IBF featherweight title, guys. This is a real belt that Leo won. Um,
Yeah.
Look,
There's Koki, Daike, and Tomoki.
yeah, I think they've all won belts.
Hmm.
Um, he's really good. Um, B, I smell a bit of an upset here.
He's on dangerous ground.
If the last win was it Jose, who
Yeah.
had the head issue and then finally got cleared that he starched
Yeah, there's
for
him.
the title. That's his best win, Brendan,
Yeah, and his last win.
and his last win. I wonder what the
This th-
line is.
this could be an upset special. Luis Alberto Lopez.
Right.
Well, I mean, they must be paying him a ton of money to go to
They got
Japan.
a ton for this weight. They have to be.
Tomoki commit. I mean, this is a real because Angelo Leo's no spring chicken either. He's 31.
But
Doesn't have the mileage of Tomoki
El
Kameda.
Mexicanito is like 40,000 years old in boxing
Yeah.
age. Angelo Leo is a 4-1 favorite.
See, now
Kameda is
that's. I don't think
Kame-
it'd be bad to throw a couple of dollars on Kameda there.
he's plus 333. So, guys, if you put $100 on Kameda, who's absolutely live, you'll win 333 claims.
Yeah.
Um, Look, is he shop worn? I don't know. Is he on the edge? Yeah. Yeah.
On the edge.
He's hovering on the
Standing on
edge,
dangerous ground.
too close to the
To the
edge.
edge. Let's
Let's
see if
see
you
if I know the
know the
ledge.
ledge. There's a lot of rap quotes we have on this show lately.
Tomoki Kameda beats Leo in Japan and gets a bad decision in Japan.
So don't they overcompensate there?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So they overcorrect so that they don't get labeled as bias?
Yes. Majority decision. Two judges have it for Leo, 115, 113. One judge has it for Kameda, 115, 113.
You're
And
not
still
Angelo Leo escapes.
he gets out of there.
Hmm.
And they bang it out, no puff. Them slinging them dogs.
Okay.
They're
Oh,
slinging
man.
them dogs
Tomoki
because
was the real flashy of the brothers. He used
yes,
to
and
dye his hair blonde.
yes, and he's going to again. But that flash starts turning into sitting down on punches
Yeah.
and slinging the dogs as you hit that whatever it is, be that ceiling of not being able to
Yeah, yeah.
Pacquiao around the way Pacquiao did, where
Oh,
you're able to
did you see
bounce.
him warming up?
Yeah, yeah. And people are like, Still got it. I'm like, he looks like shit.
He looks like an old man.
He looks like an old man who once had it. Like if you see
Yeah,
Ray Leonard and go, Ray Leonard's in his 60s. He's still in amazing shape.
right.
And if he got into a professional ring at this age,
He'd
he would
die.
die. Yes, he look. I mean, not one comment was, bro. I'm telling you, I didn't need 90 seconds. I saw 15 on the bag,
Yeah,
and I was like, this Barrios could beat him.
right. Oh my God. I think Barrios is going to beat him. And we said on the show, if he doesn't, bad fucking news. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Angelo Leo
How?
by decision
Okay. Wide,
and
close, good fight,
close,
bad fight.
close, good fight. Leo's on a mission from Gad,
Okay.
as they say in the Blues
Yeah.
Brothers.
Yeah.
That's Elwood. Elwood Blues says that.
Hmm.
We're on a mission from Gad. Uh, Shout out Dan Aykroyd, Big Fan of
Shout
the
out
show.
Dan Aykroyd and Belushi,
Yeah,
R.I.P.
rest,
Died
rest,
50,000 years ago. I'm still R.I.P.
rest in peace,
Yeah.
Johnny B.
Yeah.
Um, Angelo
Crushed when I found out Belushi wasn't Italian. Crushed.
Albanian.
Yeah. Full adult too, I was when I found out. I claimed him like for years.
Did you?
Yeah.
You thought he was Paisan?
Of course.
You know, Albanians, the way that the geography is over there,
Uh-huh.
they are
Uh-huh.
kind of Italian.
It's a lot of Albanians in Italy, a lot of Italians
Well, yeah,
in
because they do.
Albania.
You know
They
that
do that gimmick.
you know that chef Lydia Bastianich?
Yeah.
She always cooks Italian food.
Yeah.
They're Albanian.
Yeah. And her son is like a judge on shows.
Yeah, he owns Italy here in the city
Okay.
with that Mario Batali, but I think they told
He's a
Mario
real
Batali,
I don't like him.
no, huh?
No, I don't like that fella. I like Lydia though.
What about Mario Batali? You like him with his orange clogs?
No, I think he's got like pedophile charges.
Was it pedophile or was
Yeah.
he?
I'm saying it with the Philly, New
I
York
know.
accent.
I'm saying you can't say it, so we'll get demonetized if you say it. So we say pedophile. Um,
Oh,
I think
supposed. How do I clear that up?
allegedly,
Alleged.
is it that or was he just like, you know, me tooing people?
Oh,
I think it was just me tooing people that Batal. But
yeah.
yeah, I never liked him. I always thought he was a dick. And
I never liked them because there's those styles of cooking that people come from, and it's like not how we
it's
grew up.
very rustic Italian, very Italian Italian, rustic Italian Italian. It wasn't
Celebrity
Italian American.
Celebrity chef Mario Batali has agreed to settle lawsuits by two women alleging he sexually assaulted them in separate encounters in Boston,
Oof.
one of whose allegations were the focus of a Me Too era criminal prosecution that ended in his acquittal. Shout outs to B for clearing that up. He settled, but absolutely the pedophile thing is not true. But sexual assault is
Yes,
crazy.
yes.
He settled two sexual misconduct lawsuits. Um, that's not good.
No,
So,
if you ever worked in a restaurant, par for the course of chefs
yeah,
sexually assaulting
I
waitresses.
redact what I said about anything to do with
I
children.
worked in restaurants for
Instead, he's sexually harassing and assaulting a grown women, which you're
right.
just as much below like. Brendan likes Angelo Leo in a good fight. UD.
Close
I
decision.
I think it's a nice scrap, close decision
I also
win
want to say,
for
I think,
Leo.
does anyone know what the purse or the bag is? I hope we can find out because this
And
Angelo
guys,
Leo is really taking a risk going to Japan.
if you're saying, guys, what maniac would get up at 4 a.m. on Saturday morning because it's Pro Box, it'll be YouTube. Whenever you get up, just throw it on. Just don't look for spoilers.
Throw on
You could legit wait for
the
that night.
YouTubeage.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm saying you could wait till that night and go on Pro Box and watch it that night.
you are correct, sir.
I'm gonna see if I can find this by if anyone has the purses.
Mm.
But
On that undercard, Pedro Taduran.
yeah, 17-4, 13 KOs versus Ginjiro Shigioka, 11-2, 9 KOs. This is a
Shigioka.
rematch. This is a rematch. They
The
were
IBF
mixed.
minimum.
Yes. They were mixing until this got stopped. Uh,
17-4. Not an impressive record.
my prediction, nobody makes me bleed my own blood. My prediction is to scrap it out. I don't have
You don't have
I think Genjiro Shigeoka gets vengeance. And this is a rematch. I think
okay.
he thinks I shouldn't have got stopped. I shouldn't have lost that fight.
Okay, he's Filipino, Pedro Tadron. Uh Ginjiro. Wow. He's 25 and 11 and 1. And you think he's going to stop him or he gets a decision?
He can crack. They were mixing last. I can't see
And
these
he got
guys.
stopped.
I don't think these guys are going. I don't think this is going the distance. It's a 12 round fight because it's for a real title.
Yep.
Um,
I'm going to take the opposite stance. I think Pedro Tadron has his number. I think he beats him again.
he has his number. Like we watch these guys all the time. Like
We
these are
do.
like these are like this is Holyfield Bow.
Yeah,
Like
well, yeah,
we're acclimated to their styles and know what they're gonna do. I don't know what these two maniacs are gonna do except beat the shit out of each other. And I think this one guy's gonna get clipped. There's nothing anywhere. It's like I'm getting literally instead of getting
it's.
any info, it's just a tumbleweed
I
going
was going to say,
across my phone.
did you just get spam?
I'm just getting a tumbleweed
Like
where
you got to
their
turn your
names
phone.
with
You got to turn your
curses.
phone off now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What's the thing called? The screen of death or something on
yeah,
computers? I just
yeah.
got that when I put in the purses. I have no idea what they're getting paid. Uh, look at like I'm agreeing with B though to take it on the road instead of fighting one of those
In
guys
terms of Angelo Leo, yeah,
because
it's got to be a big purse for Leo.
yeah, because again, we're talking about divisions that have some guys. You have guys at 22, 26, 118, 22. There's guys there. And Kameda is a guy, so that might be
Yeah.
why it is. They're huge over there. No pop.
All right.
All
So
right.
listen, it's really a slow weekend, guys.
Yeah, guys, watch this card though on Pro Box. If you go, oh, what the
Yeah.
fuck, 4 a.m. Just don't look at the spoilers. Just don't go anywhere that will tell you and
Right.
put it right on.
Um, we got quite a bit of mail.
All right.
I'm gonna start with our friend Louis Von Kriege
Luigi.
from no Von Kriege from
I know,
France.
but he's Louis. I
Yeah.
know. Is he the guy that yelled at us and said, I hate to break it to
He,
you?
he yells at
This
us
is this.
again.
Okay. Jesus, Lou.
It's great. We get beat up in
We
the mail
do.
this week.
We get dog walked by these
Yeah.
people that listen to us. They don't like us.
He says hello to the team. And it's funny that he's French because the stereotype of French is that they're rude.
I mean, is something a stereotype if it's true?
Right. So I'm not saying Louis
Lou
Volk
is.
is
No,
is
but
rude, but he has a commitment to excellence,
he
and
does.
he wants us to have the same commitment.
I
Sometimes
understand,
we're
Louis.
wrong.
I
So he says,
understand.
"I'm sure you will have researched this after the show
Uh-huh.
published earlier, but
Calm down there.
Martinez still had the WBA belt for the Ioka rematch, but maybe didn't show up if you were on BoxRec with their WBA feud.
You
Martinez
right.
was stripped of the IBF before New Year's Eve original rematch date that was canceled due to Puma being ill
Right.
because a mandatory defense was way overdue." And then he goes into
Thanks, Lou.
yeah,
We definitely were. I definitely was like, yo, what the fuck happened? This last one was for two belts. Now this one's for nothing, and nothing happened in between.
yeah,
So thank you. Yeah. What's going on there, Lou, with the box rec and
yeah.
WBA? There's heat there.
This heat.
All right.
He says, regardless of a lot of people grumbling about the Ioka Martinez rematch, especially with the delay, instead of Puma not fighting Bam Rodriguez, but we got an excellent fight out of it. Ioka was closer to taking it despite the first already being competitive. He said post fight he didn't feel like retiring yet. As always, thanks for all the pods and keep up the good work.
I thought it was a really good fight, really good
Louis.
rematch. Yeah, I think some people thought it was a robbery. I thought Bumita edged it out. I had my score. Um, it was close, but he doesn't right. B, he's fighting an elite guy and two close fights with him. I
Right.
wouldn't want to retire either.
I wouldn't either.
There's
I
big
wouldn't
fights
either.
out there with him. They should do it again, but Bumita should fight. See what happens with this Bam fight. in a couple months and try to chase that down.
Right.
That's a bad boy, Bam Rodriguez. That's a bad man, real bad
Real
man.
bad man.
And he said like Bam's gonna bring it, B. We saw him in person. He said, "Yo, I'm extra up for this fight.
Yeah.
It's for all the marbles, and you know what I mean." But he said it in the jet, like, "Yo, I'm going extra. I'm trying to pack him up."
Pack him up.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is from Johnny Meza. He says, "What's up, guys? Hope all's well." He says, "Vinny, you knocked it out of the park with the new album."
Thank you, my friend.
His question is, and I don't know if it's to both of us, I assume. He says, "What
Okay.
up, guys?" So my question
Yeah.
is, what is your favorite sweet pea fight?
Wow. Wow. You know what I just watched?
What did you
It
watch?
was the anniversary.
Of Buddy?
Azuma Sweet Pea.
Oh, okay.
Um, the Professor.
1990.
Yep. That's not my favorite fight, but that performance was brilliant. And Azuma Nelson, more respect needs to be put on his name. Within the boxing community. I don't mean casual fans. They don't even know who he is. Um, Pernell's, is it the absolute boxing lesson he gave Chavez? Forget what it was called, meaning a draw. Forget the decision.
Right.
That has to be my favorite. Same year too, B 90. Just imagine fighting.
Uh,
This guy fights a prime Chavez and a Zuma Nelson in the same year. Like, what kind of maniac was this? You
I
know,
well, no, that's not true. He fought Azuma Nelson in 1990. He fought Purnell. He fought uh
93.
93. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. It's
sorry.
okay. You're thinking Buddy and fought Buddy McGirt and
Before
Chavez.
Chavez.
Yeah, he fought him 6 months before Chavez. Yeah.
I mean, that Rafael Pineda performance is like a masterclass too.
To me, it's Buddy McGirt, um, and Freddie Pendleton. Those are my two favorite fights. He beat the shit out of Greg Haugen. Um,
Someone else, and the people go, "Oh, but he was old. He was only 32. He just fought mad young.
yeah, yeah,
He was fighting Salvador Sanchez at
yeah,
what, four weight classes smaller, five, six. What was that? It's 126.
yeah.
Jesus, these guys are unreal. Freddie Pendleton, Azuma Nelson, Juan Nazario, Ali Diaz, Jorge Paez, Harold Brazier. I'm gonna agree with my co-host and say, for me, it's a tie between the Buddy McGirt performance and the Julio Cesar Chavez performance.
And how do you say the Hurtado fight where he like beat him through the ropes?
The Diabetes Hurtado, the
Yeah,
Cuban kid. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And he was really good too, because really only Kostya Tszyu flew his knot. He's B. When it's really, really bad, we gotta do a what could have been episode because Diabetes Hurtado will be on my list
yeah.
of a what if type guy. Not that he didn't have a career, you know what I mean? And not that he didn't fight good guys.
Do you know what his nickname was?
Diabetes Hurtado. I forget now, bro. I probably haven't seen him in 26 years on my television.
Black Money, the Oriental Kid.
Yeah, which is just wild.
What kind of fucking name is that?
I mean,
But
Wilfredo Rivera was really good.
oh yeah,
We beat him before Hurtado. And then the Oscar fight, I'm
twice.
I'm like, yo, I think he kind of beat Oscar that night, but I wasn't scoring it
Yeah, a
because
lot
I
of
was
people had
out.
him. A lot of people had him beating Oscar.
I was out, bro. I was 19 out. You know what I mean? Someone Pablo's house or something like that. You know what I mean? Wilden watching it.
Wilden,
So I definitely wasn't scoring it. Um, Sweet Pea was so good, man. We're so lucky to have watched him.
rest in
It's
peace.
so sad that he passed away so
Yeah,
young. Okay, yeah, I'm Johnny. I'm with B with the Buddy McGirt because Buddy McGirt was so good, and Chavez. It's tied for me. I could flip a coin on any night and watch either
yeah.
one. But I watched the Azuma Nelson fight. It's not one that's talked about how good Sweet Pea looked
Yeah.
because it's looked at as, oh well, Azuma was old and
Yeah,
blown
Zuma's
up.
swan song. Yeah.
He's not he's not old. He's like 32 in that fight. He's above his best weights, but still a great fighter.
Correct.
Iron chin too. Iron.
All right.
Wasn't he only hurt by Salvador Sanchez?
Yeah. That's it.
Right?
For Azuma? Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking insane, bro. They're like
The
for
professor.
everyone.
Yeah.
It's how good Salvador Sanchez was. That a kid that
Hmm.
died at 23, we're talking about beat an
Yeah.
all-time great and beat like five of them.
Yeah. The Salvador, I said it on the probably the last episode where we used to
Uh-huh.
do the Rex. I said, watch Salvador Sanchez Bazooka Gomez. I may have said it
Mhm.
after that. It's quick
What
poke
he
punch.
did by 23 is still a Hall of Famer.
It's
So
Hall of Fame.
imagine if he would have
Yeah.
went imagine if he lived 3 more years, not even to be 100 or
Right.
something. Imagine if he lived insane.
All
So
right.
sad. All right, sorry. Go
So
ahead.
I got one. It's an angry one. An
Oh
angry
no.
AV Julian.
Oh no.
Yeah. Says, peace gang. I don't think he means peace. I think he means
I
war.
don't either. I think it means war, gang.
He says, armor-clad vigilante at your service. With regards
Hmm.
to my episode pull to mark the instance Vinny Paz outright, with full confidence stated that Bud would 12-0 the Cinnamon Don with no difficulty, I believe there's been some confusion.
Oh,
Unless
I
this,
don't.
unless this Hotsy Nazi, no Musk, was
That's good.
that's good,
That's good.
was referring to my email specifically, then the source was not yours truly. It seems the other upstanding gentleman and myself referenced the same episodes, but different moments therein. Note, I have no socials. Vinny, your uninterrupted words, episode 114, A Monster Calls. He's Cedric also found this too. So
Correct. What up, Cedric?
shout out to Cedric. He says at 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 5 seconds, quote, the more AV, the more you, the more everyone stands 10 toes down on this being mistake. The more of a fucking boxing savant I'm going to be when fucking Bud 12 O's Canelo in 8 months, and it ain't close. It ain't even fucking close. End quote. That's what
I
you said.
need that. I listened to whatever was sent to us and didn't hear myself say that. Do
All
you
right.
have the
So
times, big?
yes, that's
Well,
episode
nah, don't do it
114.
now. Like, will you keep that and
Yeah.
send it to like
Well,
don't
for
pull
I'm
that
saying it
out.
for the listeners.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get this
Episode
snippet.
114, 2 hours and 3 minutes and 5 seconds into the episode. Correct me if I'm wrong, but not only does that stamp the first time Louis Dogs announced this claim over
Hmm.
KEOTB airwaves, but it
Hmm.
sounded pretty damn definitive to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Further goes,
Wow.
and how dare you react to the setup before hearing my punchline when I complimented Remedial Rolly's performance? I know you don't know me like that, but you know me better than that.
It's a pretty good email. I mean, he
Yeah.
hates me, but I like that.
Now head to Logan Square and pack up a cannon with a t-shirt, light the fuse, and aim it at my direction, would you? One love, brothers. Knock, knock, knock on. I don't think, I think that's he,
Is he threatening us?
I think he threatened us.
I do too.
I think he's forcing our hand here.
He is. I think we
And,
got to send him something,
and
maybe.
I think I'm afraid. So,
Are you afraid of this AV Julian?
he seems to have his ducks in a row. And look at me. I didn't know when you said it. I forget these episodes 2 seconds after we record them. What I say on here. Um, I think he's deserved of something.
We'll
So
we'll, we'll handle the
we'll
situation,
handle the
AV.
stitch. AV, if you don't mind, send us where to send you. All right. You know the email. You know the time. Send us your info. We'll get something out to you.
We will.
And I got one more, and it's a fucking long one.
I got so angry that
Just
two
now?
people were wrong. No, when they sent and said when I said it,
Uh-huh.
I erased that episode from my app. So it goes 113, 115.
You can find it on any of the other stuff, and should be there. You're looking for it now?
Yeah, but I erased it from when I listened to the
Oh,
timestamp. I got so mad at everybody. at this Cedric, at this AV. She's gone.
All right. So we got our guy Tommy in Roxborough, the Philly one, he says now,
All right, Tommy.
so that we don't get confused.
All right.
Says, yo, guys, thanks for taking the time to read my entire letter last week and appreciate the discussion that followed. I want to follow up on some of the ideas I laid out there and the discussion that followed. First off, I want to be clear that I'm speaking strictly from a boxing perspective here. There's obviously a lot of controversy surrounding Turkey, but for the sake of boxing conversations, I'm putting that aside and assuming good intentions. There's no doubt that Turkey has made good fights, but before we give him too much praise, we have to consider the context. Specifically, we have to remember that he has more money than all other promoters combined and is not operating under normal business constraints that require profit. Given the insane leverage he has over the market, the fact that he's managed to put on some great cards is to be expected, while the fact that he still managed to get behind several bad fights and boring events is inexcusable.
Hmm.
Well, you can't predict the future, and I think he's trying to make good fights. I think that's what's happening here. I don't see him making bad fights. Um, I also think Turkey. He's not trying to sell us, give us shit and sell it to us as sugar. Okay. I also think Turkey deserves to be criticized for never getting the Canelo Benavidez over the line. This should have been a top priority day one. The ship has sailed now, but that was extremely important for boxing as it presented an opportunity to elevate Benavidez into a mainstream star. I get that Canelo asked for a lot of money, but let's remember that Turkey also paid for Ngannou 2 versus Fury, AJ Wilder 2, and AJ Wilder 2 times permits to block an NYC. I'm kind of lost with the letter here, but anyway, all right. Look, we said this a long time ago. You're not telling Canelo what to do, and that they
No,
and not Turkey, but Benavidez, I think, went about that the wrong way. Canelo wants you to kowtow to him. Canelo's ego is as big as Mexico, the country. You got to kind of placate to what Canelo wants, and you'll get the fight. Um, that whole face off with him and Caleb Plant, where he thought Caleb Plant like said something about him, it was kind of an overreaction.
yeah,
So Canelo gets, it's Canelo. He knows he's the biggest star. I don't think that Turkey, I don't think that anybody could have gotten Canelo to fight Benavidez.
I don't either.
I don't think he wanted to fight, and I don't think he liked the way that Benavidez and his side were doing business. I don't think he liked Samson Likwitz. I don't think he likes Benavidez's father. Um, and I think it was just, I'm not doing this. Uh,
B, can I throw back to the Times Square card?
okay.
If Ryan Garcia scores knockout of the year on
Hmm.
Rolly that night, does that save that card to you? And an okay performance from Teo. Devin stinks it out. Devin's been stinking it out for 30 plus fights. What did you think was going to happen?
Right.
Certainly, it's not just that one.
This was the stinkiest of stinkers.
Yeah, of his career,
Right.
arguably. Rolly gets hit with a one hitter quitters that night. Say it's you said it, but hindsight is 2020. Did that card? You weren't excited for that card. I think I was a little bit. I think there could have been sparks. I think people underperformed. I think some people showed up for a paycheck.
Mhm.
Certainly, that's how Barbosa looked to me. Certainly, um, um, who fought Devin? That I was like, B, all you got to do is touch Devin. And you were like, nah, I'm telling you, this guy's done. Ramirez.
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez came for a check. He couldn't cut the ring off properly. Devin's
Right.
not that good to where you're like, oh, I didn't know what to do. I could, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I couldn't figure this guy out. Like, of course, bro, cut the ring off and fire shots. He can't hurt you. He's not going to even sting you.
Right.
And then you go, all right, Ryan's gonna one hit a quitter, Rolly. So I'm going, oh, this could be fun. I don't think any of these guys, there's six guys, none of them are near our top 10. Maybe they could make for some fun fights. Maybe a
Yeah.
win here makes for something
Yeah,
else.
I mean, I don't necessarily blame him for that. The idea to try to get it in Times Square. I mean, look, they're just trying new things. Um, I get, I, I, I got
I'm
to give
just
him
trying
more
to,
time. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just trying to address
I don't
the
think this
email and
this
go.
level of criticism is necessarily warranted.
We said, look, when it's warranted, we'll give critiques, but we're still on a wait and see basis with him
Right.
because of the time he's been doing it and what the next
I mean,
12 to
look at him.
18 months look
So
like.
it appears he's already fired Dana White.
Right, right. We love this card in Queens, and we
Right.
love that it's there. And that's a good, they're two good
He's
fights.
learning. He's
They're two
learning.
good fights, man. If those guys, if four guys shit the bed, do you blame? I
Yeah.
mean, Cepeda's the guy. He's a mandatory.
Right.
Right? And Berlanga and Shiraz, Berlanga, oh, I don't like him. I think he's limited, but he only lost to Canelo in one loss. And Shiraz is like viewed by some as the next guy.
Right.
And whoever
Who's
wins
moving
that,
up
who's moving
to
up,
68? So
and
he's vulnerable.
he's vulnerable, and whoever wins that is certainly getting a shot at something. You know what I
Right.
mean? Whatever Canelo vacates, because for all intents and purposes, for the 900th episode in a row, Canelo, Bud, these guys are rarefied air. Forget divisions.
Right.
You're going to start having champs again at 68 because Canelo is like Floyd.
Right.
Canelo is like Pacquiao. These belts are going to get either, either stripped or until September, Bud's the guy. And then, if Bud wins or he wins, Canelo, I think, retires either way if
Right.
it gets to the thing. And I don't know what Bud does if he wins. Bud will he be 38 yet? Or he's 37 now, right?
Yeah.
Will still be 37 or will he turn 38 by then?
Let me see.
B, you spoke of 80 million. Is that Canelo's purse? Or
Yeah.
is that right? So what is Bud looking to get? 20?
Probably.
It's probably $100 million purse bid, or there was one.
Bud will be 38 September 28th.
Okay, so what does in his mind? What does Bud's a dog and he's competitive, but I don't know
Yeah.
what he sees as being out there. Drop back down to 60 and grab, which he can do. Grab and beat a couple of them guys up.
Or
Beat up a Janabek and unify
I,
at
I think
60.
Bud retires after this.
I think both of these guys might retire no
Yeah.
matter what, unless it's a fight of the year and then they fight each other and go, "We're going out," like Ward and
Right.
Gotti did.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to run this back again? Like neither of us got knocked out.
Right.
We both got chins. It was a great fight.
And
The
it's
second one
a
will be
draw.
great. Yeah, and it's a draw.
All right. So he
Or
says, oh,
super close, or someone saying robbery, or a reason that whatever the reason is, do it again. You know what I mean? Get your lick back.
so he says, overall, I think we'll look back at the Turkey era and see a massive missed opportunity to bring the sport back to mainstream relevance,
It's possible.
especially in the US. I believe boxing can be huge again. It just needs more and better exposure. A lot of guys in my demographic, 30-year-old honky,
Hmm.
had their entire perception of the sport shaped by Maypac
Hmm.
and May McGregor. And
Understood.
all it will take is one exciting offensive fighter to cross over, and these guys will be interested again. Look at what Inoue did for Japan. All right, I got
I
some
don't.
things to say about that.
Yeah,
Much smaller country. The level of professional sports is not. We have so much competition here. Boxing will never be a mainstream sport ever again. There's too many variables that scare off people in position to make it what we want it. However, it will be exciting once or twice a year. There will be big fights once or twice a year that people talk about, and that's fine. And that's where we live with boxing. It won't die. There's no calls for it dying. But to go back to what you're saying, a mainstream sport or something like that, the ship has sailed. I think the ship has sailed with MMA as well. I don't think MMA will be ever be a mainstream sport. It will have hardcore niche fans, and with these streaming services and everything else being sort of a la carte,
fragmented.
fragmented and a la carte, I don't know. We were talking before about, well, last episode we were talking about
Who is this?
hoops.
What's this gentleman's name again?
This is Tommy from Roxborough.
Tommy, you got to remember, bro, when B and I were coming up, it was like Showtime or HBO.
Right.
And then you had Wide World of Sports
Right. And
Saturday
all of the
afternoons.
networks, including ESPN, supposedly are dropping boxing.
Oh, and they are. They
Right.
are. It's happening. I think July is the last date.
Well, that's so I think that
July or August is the last
Top Rank,
ESPN
yeah.
game.
Does
Unless Bob's
ESPN?
fucking around, because we said
No, or hang on though, or ESPN just doesn't want to work with Top Rank. Now
right.
that doesn't mean that ESPN, which has had a commitment to boxing for 50 years,
Yeah, I'd say 50 is a good number. Yeah.
says, all right, we're not doing boxing anymore. I don't think so. They got time to fill. You know what I mean? And there is boxing. They just might not want to do deals with Top Rank. And
Somebody like Pro Box, if they keep doing what they're doing, might get an ESPN.
right, but then to that point, you have pro boxes of the world. You have self-contained machines,
Yeah.
that are doing what ESPN used to do.
Yes.
What Showtime on Friday used to do.
Yeah.
They've recognized their position in the market, and this is what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So I think that boxing will
You're
remain
feeding a niche market. And when you do that, you can make money and everyone can make money.
right, and
It
you can
doesn't,
live.
people do. It's the same way you think, oh, I don't know that person's name in music, so they must not be successful. And you're like, no, they're like one of the most
Right,
successful artists on earth. You just don't know them because they're not on Universal.
right.
You know what I
You
mean?
can
If
you can yeah, you can look, man. There's classes and everything, right? So there's
sure,
upper class, there's middle class, there's
sure,
lower class, right?
sure.
You can stamp out as a network. We're using the that analogy for the purpose
Yeah,
of this argument.
yeah,
ProBox can stamp out a very middle to upper middle class lifestyle
definitely.
by just going to work every day,
Absolutely.
and that's what they've been doing. So they've been putting the content out. They've been doing this, and that stuff is for us.
Yeah.
That's not really for the mainstream.
No.
So boxing is too unpredictable to go back to the networks. I've explained it. I don't know if I have to do it again,
Yeah.
but due to the fact that it is a sport where there is a fluid parameter in when it ends, okay? Due to the fact that there can be an injury, there can be a knockout, and there can be a stoppage, or there can be like fan man,
Yeah.
which is obviously the most rare.
Yeah.
Networks don't want to touch that because networks have to sell ads, whether you're selling ads on an app or selling ads on a traditional legacy media platform. If there's a knockout in the Dave Allen
Johnny Fisher
Johnny
fight.
Fisher fight we just talked about, it ended in the fifth. So what do they do from 6 to 10?
If that's on NBC, CBS,
ESPN even if that's the main
ABC,
event
ESPN.
on a Friday night ESPN card, what do they do for 5 rounds?
If it's on a channel, we say, why don't they fuck with boxing? Like Turner.
Right.
Oh, TNT.
I
You
tell
into
you what's
basketball?
happening.
No, I know.
Their ratings go off a cliff because everyone turns the fucking
It's
channel.
too risky of a sport, and
Right.
there's too many variables in this sport.
And we talk about things like, we don't think that fight's actually going to get made, even though it's been announced. They've done press conference.
Yeah.
Does such and such make it to the fight? Again, you don't deal with this when they put out the 2025 football schedule.
Correct.
You go September
Correct.
14th. This team is playing this team.
Yes.
And regardless of whom or what, there's going to be 52 guys on each side and 11 guys at a time on the
Yep.
field.
AC Milan cannot say
Or
we are
22
not
guys at a
going
time
on
on
the
the field.
pitch against Arsenal if they're on their schedule.
And
I don't want to. I don't want to play that.
And boxing does that. It's a high risk, low-ish reward sport. I love the fact that you're 30 and you're into it and you want it to be mainstream. So
Yeah, that's
for the
great.
sake of, well, we talked about this last week, generations.
Yeah,
But it's apparently you're in the same generation as me and Vinny because they last 30 years. But I don't feel like you are.
you're not. A
We
young
still like
man.
you anyway.
We do.
I hope that you're right and us two old guys are wrong.
Yeah, we're two Gindaloons.
That's
Hopefully,
it.
yeah, that's all.
All right. So he says, look what NUA did for Japan. That's where I left off.
Yeah,
Again, smaller country. All right.
yeah,
We have something like a proof of concept with Taylor Serrano. I was talking about Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, which is the only time I've seen or heard boxing discussions at my office job. That fight captivated the country, and the rematch is going to be a major event on Netflix. It'll be the third fight. They fought at Madison Square Garden and broke the record for for women at the Garden. Great. Again, most people can't stomach two women beating the shit out of each other. It's hard for a lot of people to watch. And yes, they fought a much more casual, friendly fight than, of course, Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson. But again, that's a spectacle more than your average
Yes,
Saturday in boxing.
a crossover
Yeah, and again,
spectacle.
it's not even that's not even like a traditional boxing event. Benavidez versus Canelo and Boots versus Crawford would have been historic fights that would have set up boxing two exciting superstars for the next decade. I don't buy that it was impossible for Turkey to make these fights. It just wasn't a priority when he instead spent millions on frivolous BS that didn't help and in some cases hurt the sport.
He's not a
Instead,
fan of this Turkey.
no, instead we're getting Crawford Canelo, a fight no one asked for between two stars, three weight classes apart on their way out.
He agrees with you, Brendo.
Like I said last week, there's still so much to say on the topic, but I'll leave it there. And I want the sport to grow because I truly believe its power will captivate and inspire. So I wish Turkey the best and hope he succeeds in a growing sport the right way for the right reasons. Thanks,
We
Tommy in
agree,
Roxborough.
Bubba. Thanks for writing us, man.
Thanks for writing us. Well, I've said my piece about that. I think you've said your piece about that. And with that, I want people to write us at KOTB, KOTBboxing at gmail.com. Also, guys, make sure you rate the show. Make sure you
Subscribe,
subscribe.
give it the rating,
Yeah,
subscribe, and write a review.
write a review. Yep. And there's like
Couple sentences
there's
doesn't have
comments you
to.
can make on each episode, on Spotify, on YouTube.
The YouTube thing apparently is like a big deal if you
Yeah,
comment on it or something, as far as algorithms are concerned. You know what I mean?
right. You know, drop us a comment. That supports the show and keeps us going and keeps us motivated to bring you guys content every week. And if you have
Also,
any,
with us doing 2 shows a week, guys, there's more room for mail. So
yeah,
definitely write in. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
we
write in
appreciate
and we'll read it.
we
Even
appreciate
if it's hate mail like AV wrote us.
yeah, we appreciate all the kind words, but any questions, comments, or anything regarding the sport, write in. You know what I mean? And KEOTB boxing at gmail.com because
Correct.
we have more room for the second episode we do per week. You know what I mean?
Right.
For um the reader mail because we sometimes we had to trim, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we had to trim for time. Now we freed this up. We started doing two
Right.
a week, and it hopefully will make for a better show and more fan interaction. But
Hey,
anyway, you
where can everyone find you?
at the Killer B24 on Twitter X, at I underscore no underscore what's my name? I
That
that underscore kid on IG. Find us at KOTB Boxing. KOTB Boxing on IG. Again, write us at KOTBboxing at gmail.com and KOTB Podcast on YouTube. Vinny.
my new record, God Sent Vengeance, everywhere now, all streaming platforms. If you're into physical product like I am and like Mr. Long used to be before children would smash his things, jmtstore.com. You can knock them out the box shirts there, hoodies, t-shirts, everything, windbreakers. Some big news coming soon on 2 products that I can't talk about yet, but they're coming over now because with the tariffs, there was a little bit of a furlough, so they're coming in. Did I say my Twitter?
No, hit us.
At Vinny_Paz on Twitter, at BoxCutterPazzi on IG, jmtstore.com. I had something to say to end this with, but now I forget. So, Brandon, say goodnight.
Good night, Brendan.
Knock 'em out the box.